So what has it been like for me growing up with dyslexia? And this is a question I get sometimes, and it's always kind of hard to answer, right? Like, because it's just been something I've been dealing with my whole life. I don't know anything else. I can't compare it to anything, right? Like, you can't just become undyslexic for a little while, then going back to being dyslexic to compare it to. But I do have some examples, some bad, but also some good that can kind of highlight what it's been like. So I guess, first of all, for spelling, I spell terrible. Don't got much else to say there besides, like, my 9-year-old spells words better than I do. But something else I hear too is like, do I see words backwards? Do I see a B as a D or something like that? Which is definitely not the case. What I think it really just comes down to is I got to spend so much time like decoding each word that it really like slows down my reading. And then if I have to speed that up, like, it's just, I can't keep track of what's going on. So say, like, if I'm reading a sentence and I get to the end and I realize, wait a second, like, that doesn't actually make sense. I gotta go back to the beginning of the sentence, reread it again, or then I'll realize, oh, I read this word wrong, which is essentially what happened to me in this terrible but also hilarious story from high school. So, we were doing this thing where we each have to like read a paragraph or two in the class, and it's my turn, and we're reading about animals, right? But I'm spending so much time focusing on each word and trying to decode it that I'm not paying any attention to the words I'm saying and what's actually being said in the paragraph. So then we get to this one part that's talking about a leopard, right? But leopard is spelled leopard. So I get to leopard and I read leopard, don't even realize that it's not even a real animal because I'm not paying attention to what's actually being said, and just go right on past it like nothing happened. And then I think I was getting like a pass in the class because no one was really, no one was saying anything. But then we had like the class clown in the class, who's also my boy. But especially when they're your boy, they're gonna lay into you extra hard when you fuck up. So, I'm on like the next sentence or so, and then all of a sudden he just points at me and goes, "Ha, leopard, it's leopard." And I was just like, oh my God, shit. And then I got known as Leopard for a little while in that class, which was kind of funny. But then on the good side is I think it actually has helped me with teaching, like specifically teaching reading, where, like when the pandemic happened, even my younger son's still learning reading, right? And well, when the pandemic happened and we had to do all this homeschooling, I think it really did help me in just teaching my kids where, if they don't really get something, I can come at it from a bunch of different angles and try to break it down and find a way that clicks with them. And then, and then have them hopefully get it. Also, it's helped with me, I think, in like having my patience where, like, say if my kids aren't really picking it up, then, I'm not really sweating it. I'm like, okay, we'll just try a different approach instead of just kind of hammering away on the same approach. And as far as I know, both my kids have been doing great in school so far. They figured out I was dyslexic by like preschool already, apparently, or definitely by like first grade. So, so far they have been really cool there, which, is nice. But then also, and this is also something I've heard about just people with dyslexia, I don't really know if this is a fact or not, but sometimes I can say like, we're more imaginative and stuff like that. So I've always kind of thought like if that's had something to do with my ability to lucid dream or just kind of dream in general, even like this liminal dream space where, I'm not saying like, I don't think I'm that creative, but my imagination can really get hammering. So I've always wondered if that had a kind of, if me being dyslexic has had a hand in, helping my lucid dreaming or dream practice and liminal dreams and all that cool shit. So yeah, not all bad, right? There is some good. And yeah, if you are dyslexic, man, don't sweat it. Just stick it out and I guess try lucid dreaming.